Today, we're going to break down a whole new way of thinking about your career. The goal here is to replace that constant low-level anxiety with a clear, actionable strategy that actually helps you make decisions.
Have you ever felt that sense of chronic career anxiety? If you have, trust me, you are not alone. It's practically a universal symptom of trying to navigate the modern professional world, where all the paths to success seem more confusing than ever before. For years, the go-to advice has been to just follow your passion. But that kind of vague advice, well, it often falls completely flat because it gives us zero framework for the real-world trade-offs we all have to make. A much newer, and I think much more powerful model suggests we should focus on building something concrete instead, our career capital.
And this brings us right to the core problem so many of us are facing. We're all trying to optimize our careers for multiple, often competing goals, but we're doing it without any kind of map to guide us. I mean, think about it. We're constantly juggling this desire for better compensation, more freedom and control over our own work, and the feeling that we're making a meaningful impact. Without the right tools to think this through, our careers just turn into this complex and incredibly stressful optimization problem that feels impossible to solve. So, what's the fix? Well, what if the key to solving this very modern problem actually lies in a powerful, time-tested economic concept? Let's talk about human capital.
And this isn't some new buzzword. The idea of human capital has actually been around for centuries. It all started with the economist Adam Smith, way back in 1776, who saw our skills as a form of capital. Then it was really formalized in 1964 by Gary Becker, and today it's being updated to give us that strategic framework we've been missing.
So what is it, really? Simply put, human capital is your own personal portfolio of rare and valuable skills. It's the collection of all the knowledge and abilities that you can invest in, you can grow, and then you can deploy in the market to create new opportunities for yourself.
And here's a key insight, which was perfectly framed by the Nobel laureate Gary Becker. He said that investing time and effort into learning new skills generates real, tangible returns. It's just like a factory buying a new machine to increase its output. Your skills are your economic engine.
Okay, now let's see how this whole concept builds into a practical tool that you can actually use right now. This is where we translate the theory of human capital into a map for your career.
So, I'd like to introduce you to the 3 axes of success. This framework visualizes your career not as some linear ladder you have to climb, but as a point in a 3-dimensional space. You can think of it like a GPS for your professional life.
And what's so brilliant about this is that it shows success isn't just one thing. It's a balance. A balance of wealth, which is your career capital and your financial options, autonomy, which is your control over how and when you work, and meaning, the unique positive impact you create in the world.
Now, this is where the framework gets really interesting, and how these 3 axes interact. They don't just exist in a vacuum, you see. There are rules to the game. This framework reveals these hidden dynamics, like something called the control trap. If you chase autonomy too early, before you've built up enough career capital, you risk instability. But if you wait too long, you can become so valuable to your employer that they'll resist giving you the very freedom you've earned. It's a really delicate balancing act. It also suggests that the most successful careers often follow 3 distinct phases. Early on, the main focus is on maximizing wealth, building your career capital. Then, in your mid-career, you start to leverage that capital to gain more autonomy and meaning. And finally, later on, you can shift your focus to maximizing meaning and building a real legacy.
So, let's make this totally concrete. We can actually map common career paths onto this WAM space to see the exact trade-offs they represent. As you can see here, different jobs are really just different solutions to this big optimization problem. An industrial R&D manager, for instance, is typically maximizing wealth with a medium amount of autonomy. A tenured professor, on the other hand, often prioritizes high autonomy and high meaning, but usually at the expense of wealth. And an entrepreneur? Well, they're shooting for all 3, but with a very high amount of risk. And this really gets to the heart of the matter. There is no single best career. It just doesn't exist. There are only different sets of trade-offs. This framework isn't here to tell you what to choose. It's about helping you understand the choice you're making and making sure it aligns with your own values.
So by turning that vague, nagging anxiety into a clear visual map, this framework empowers you to ask the single most important question of all. Looking at where you are right now in this WAM space, what is your next deliberate step?